Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan Lugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Tuesday, June 13th. Right now, we're talking a little bit about Josh Allen going into the final year of his rookie deal. There's been a lot of talk about Josh Allen over the last couple years. This is a guy that Jags fans used to call the good one when talking about Josh Allen, right? And I'm sure some fans still do. But there seems to me to be a disproportionate amount of criticism that goes his way these days. And so I just wanted to talk about that. Former 7th overall pick. He might not be a top 5 edge player in this league, even top 10, but he is absolutely in that next grouping if he is not top 10. There's no question about that in my mind when you watch the film. You talk about playing defense in the NFL, it starts in base, right? Josh Allen, a tremendous base 3-4 outside linebacker. He's a borderline elite run defender at the position who sets a hard edge consistently against the run, and he chases plays down all over the field. He's able to knife in the backfield, get tackles for loss. He's a really impressive 3-4 outside linebacker from a run defense standpoint. He was 10th in the NFL in stops last year per PFF. A stop is a tackle that ends in a positive result for the defense. These are plays that are being made by Josh Allen that are helping the Jaguars get off the field. They're not just tackles that are meaningless. You know, a tackle could be after a guy picks up a first down. No, these are plays that are actually helping the Jaguars get off the field. He was 10th among edge defenders in that category. He's fairly fluid in coverage, in my opinion, even when teams attempt to kind of exploit that part of the Jaguars defense. You know, the big outside linebackers dropping in coverage down the field. Allen is usually tight with his assignment, pretty sticky. Maybe he doesn't always make the play at the catch point, but for how much he is asked to drop in this scheme, I think Josh Allen does a very good job of it. And I know what you're saying. Edge rushers get paid to impact the quarterback. Well, guess what? Josh Allen does impact the quarterback. He does it in a fairly big way. 6th in the league among edge defenders in pressures last year. 3rd in quarterback hits. 4th in forced fumbles. And now I know the sacks are where everyone loses their minds, but sacks are not as indicative of future success as pressures and hits are. They just aren't. You can look at advanced data. That is true. Talk to anybody who studies this. Pressures and hits, they're not more valuable than sacks, but they are more predictive of the future than sacks. So I believe Josh Allen, he's got sacks coming his way. I think with slightly tighter coverage on the back end last year in 2022, Allen probably would have had more than the 7 sacks he did. I think you're probably talking about a double-digit guy. Now, it's one thing to acknowledge that you'd like to see some more finishing from Josh Allen in the sack department, which absolutely I would. I think anybody would. Heck, Josh even said that yesterday. He needs to play better in 2023 than he did in 2022. But this is a darn good football player that does not deserve nearly as much heat as he gets from Jags fans. Bottom line for me. And I've heard the argument that he disappeared during the losing streak, right? Far from true. But almost every player on the Jaguars roster during a stretch, during that losing streak, had poor bouts of play. Bottom line. I mean, it was a rough stretch for the entire Jaguars team. The defense was broken until Darius Williams was moved outside. Before that, they could not cover anyone on the defensive left side of the field at all. It was a major weakness. The defense was broken. You also had the quarterback and the running back on the other side of the ball, turning the ball over a ton during that stretch. There's just a lot of poor play to go around during the Jaguars losing streak, right? Now, Josh Allen, he's a guy who played like a man possessed in the most important regular season game of his career against Tennessee. AFC South title in 2022, final game of the regular season. Got a scoop and score, tons of pressure applied, a sack fumble to close things out. Josh Allen stepped up when the Jaguars needed him most in that game. And guess what? This is a guy heading into a contract year 5. I bet you'll see the best of Josh Allen in 2023. And with that, I will step down off my soapbox. I just wanted to talk about the impact Josh Allen is able to make on the game is much greater than the sum of his total sacks. This is a guy that, when healthy, has averaged over 8 sacks a year. That's not mind-blowing, I'm aware. But when you have an offense like the Jaguars now have, I think it'll be a lot easier for Josh Allen to rack up some sacks. I think it'll also be a lot easier for him to rack up sacks just based on the defensive integrity behind him. This is a defense that most of the guys are going into year 2 in this system. Darius Williams is going to start out on the outside instead of playing nickel. You're not going to have that issue to deal with as much as you did in 2022. So I think that Josh Allen is going to have a heck of a year. I think the Jaguars defense will be improved in 2023. How much will they be improved? Still not sure. I still think there are a couple areas that they could address. Pass rush depth. I think they could still get stronger at nickel as well. But I expect the Jaguars defense to improve under Mike Caldwell in year 2. I expect Josh Allen to have the best year of his career. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Duval Daily. You can hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment in the comment section below on YouTube. Also hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Really appreciate y'all being here. Have a great rest of your day, Duval.